Welcome to Living the Dream, sponsored by Jackrabbit Dance, the podcast that brings together studio owners, dance educators, and leaders in the industry. Hosted by Rhee and Laura Giacomelli, each episode is packed with real talk, inspiration, and a passion for the dance life. We're so glad you're here. Hi, everybody. I'm Rhee, and even though you're seeing a picture of Laura Giacomelli, my co-host today will be Michelle Soutier. Laura couldn't be with us tonight. We welcome you. This is a Thursday night edition to Living the Dream. I'm Rhee and thrilled that you're joining us.
Hello, everyone. We love our evening chats. And tonight we have a guest whose story reminds us that legacy and innovation can go hand in hand.
Yes. And I'm a guy who loves a legacy. If you're new to Living the Dream, it's where we celebrate the heart and soul of dance education. Studio owners, teachers, leaders shaping the future. And you can always catch the replay on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe. Never miss an episode.
Never. And don't forget to drop the state that you're from in the chat.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from everybody.
We like to see where everybody is around the globe.
And tonight we're heading to Arizona to shine a light on someone who knows what it means to carry the torch with passion and pride. April Spisak Nelson will be with us shortly. We're excited to talk to her. Michelle, what's new and exciting?
We are getting ready for everything at the studio. So next week's Parent Observation Week. So all those parents will be in there. And I'm also finishing up all of our competitive costumes, stoning and headpieces and all that. And so I'll be giving those out. So that's even better than Christmas.
I want to ask you a couple questions. You triggered a question. Parent observation, do they come in the room?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Every class, they come in and we give them a little abbreviated class just so they can see what we do each year or each week and dance. I do not have observation windows in my studio. So they have not seen their dancers at all.
Are there screens or anything? No.
Nope.
Tell me why.
I used to have a big window in my baby room, and parents made ugly comments about other children. And so I had a heavy-set little girl one time, and the mom said, "Who's the fat kid?" And the mom was behind her. And it just was hurtful. And so I was like,
well, I wasn't expecting that answer, but I got it.
You got it. So I was like, okay, no more of that. And, and my kids like it because their parents aren't watching and pressuring them. They just come and do their thing. Anybody
ever say, how come I can't observe my kid?
Yeah, I've got a tiny little window you can look in at your baby in the baby room, but it's a non-issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what'd you say about costumes? It's competition costumes?
Yes, I've gotten them all in. I've gotten them all tailored, got the stones on them. I'll finish those up over Christmas, and then the second they come back after Christmas, they get them. So they're very excited about those.
When do you start your competitions?
Our debut show is in February, end of February. So it'll give us time to make sure that the costumes are perfect, and then they hit the stage.
Okay, debut show means it's a run through of all of the choreography for the year. How many competitions will the kids do?
They do 3 regionals and nationals. So we will be at Platinum Nationals this year. I've never done that Nationals, so hoping we like it. And it'll be in Florida.
And I know your kids are going to Seoul. That was my plug, okay?
Yes, at the end of the summer.
Seoul Dancer Conference.
Yep. They'll be going at the end of the summer. Yep. So I'm actually looking more forward to that than the competition.
What are your thoughts? Okay, wait. I know this about you. Instead of your thoughts, because I don't want anybody to get offended. Tell me, you have one school that has a competitive program and another school that's just a performing program.
Correct.
Tell us why you made that decision.
Well, we used to have both studios had a competitive program. In my second location, we had about 35 team members, and they just literally drove us crazy. So I just went in one day and shut it down. I said, I want y'all all to go find somewhere else to dance. And I said, I took a year off, and then I said, now we can start a performance company.
Okay. So is the performance company something that is profitable, and does it make great dancers like a competitive program?
My performance company kids are as good as my team kids. They have all the same turn combinations, like everything is the same. They have the same teachers we work with. So, but they just dance locally, and they're more appreciative. I find they're more appreciative. They're very good children, but they're very good dancers. So I wish that I could eke this other one over into that as well, but we have 150 competitive kids, and they want to compete. So
I gotcha.
It is.
Diane Godard is saying hi.
Hey, Diane.
And here is Miss Erin Rhee. It's nice to see you. Okay, Miss Michelle, I'm wishing you all the best with
Thank you. Fun
all
times
that you have going on. As you know, and I know, we appreciate Jackrabbit Dance, and I need to roll this up a little. No, I need to go there.
Before we bring April in, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Jackrabbit Dance. If you're a studio owner looking for an easier way to manage your registrations, your schedules, and communications, Jackrabbit has your back. Trust me, I use them. It's powerful software designed specifically for dance studios.
We use it, we love it, and we're grateful for their support of living the dream. We'll be back with April after this.
This episode is sponsored by Jackrabbit Dance, the dance studio software empowering you to build the studio of your dreams. With over 20 years of experience, Jackrabbit has the solutions and industry insights to help your business grow. Want to increase student enrollment, optimize your pricing to be profitable, or improve staff retention? See how other studios are using Jackrabbit Dance to hit their goals year after year. To learn more, visit jackrabbitdance.com/benchmarks.
April Nelson.
Hello.
You always make me smile when I see you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's good to see you.
Let's just tell everybody before we get into the questions. How long have we known each other? I'm thinking Mr. Dance,
40,
Tony.
maybe 40 years. 40.
Oh,
Yeah.
40.
Long time.
Yeah.
40 something years. Long time.
I treasure that,
It's very special. It's very special. In this industry, we manage to have made friends that really do last a lifetime. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
All right, April. I'm going to get started here.
Okay.
Your studio was founded in 1960 by your mother. Can you tell us what it was like growing up in that environment and eventually stepping into that director role?
Ooh, okay. I'll make it as brief as I can, but it's
Take your
long.
time, my
So
friend.
it's a long one. I think, and I hate to say, it was never my dream. It was always my life. It was always the natural order of things for me. Nothing that I ever thought would be my future, because it was always just my life. So my mom was a dancer in Ohio, Hamilton, Ohio, and she met my dad there. They got married. They went to, she danced, he tended bar. And after they got married, a friend of theirs opened a casino in Las Vegas. And in 1949, they were one of the first people to hit the Strip in Las Vegas. And my mom danced. My dad ran the bar. Trying to remember the name of the hotel, and I can't remember, but it was small. From there, they went to Santa Barbara, California, and ran the Montecito Inn, which is a bed and breakfast in Santa Barbara. And my sister and I were born there. We eventually moved from Southern California to Phoenix, My dad ran the Phoenix Country Club. He managed the bar there. My mom was teaching dancing. But when we got there, she was like, I want to take you to learn how to dance. I danced my whole life. This is what I'd like to do for you. So at the time, and this was 1958, 59, we went to the American Legion in Wickenburg, Arizona. We lived in a little cement house in the middle of the desert, and Wickenburg had an American Legion. There was a lady that was going to teach dancing there. So my mom took my sister and I. She wanted $1 a class. And my mom said, I can't afford that. I'll teach you myself. So she gathered up Roxanne and I, and we went into the living room, and she cleared an area on the cement floor and brought in the neighborhood girls and gave us our first ballet class. So really from there, we never really had a living room. When we moved from Wickenburg back to Phoenix, every house we ever lived in, it was a studio, not a living room. And that was it. I studied with her until I was about 13. And she said, you know how kids are when they're 13? I don't want to teach you anymore.
Did your mother tell you that?
She did. She said, I think you need to learn more than what I can give you at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. And she was teaching us ballet, tap, jazz. Jazz was very new at the time.
Yes.
And acrobatics. And my sister was really good in acrobatics and really good in tap. And I could do the ballet and the jazz. So I took lessons at the Phoenix School of Ballet from Kelly Brown, whose daughter is Leslie Brown, who was in Turning Point, the movie Turning Point.
Oh.
He was an ABT dancer that moved his family to Phoenix. And I studied with him. At the time, there was nothing as far as any kind of a dance convention or any kind of a place to study or train. So it was watching 1970s variety shows on TV, where we could see the June Taylor dancers, and we could see Dee Dee Wood choreography and Peter Gennaro and all those people that their name would come up, in the credits after the show was over with, and you'd be like, wow, that's great stuff. And then from there, my mom found some conventions and dance workshops in San Diego, California. And as my sister and I got older and we were studying that way, I don't think I attended my first convention until I was 22 years old. And I was married and had a little baby boy at the time. So all of my study and my training has been as an adult, and going to teachers training school and conventions and just trying to learn. Roland Dupre had a school in LA, and we could drive over there and take classes from all the people that are still working. And I could name them all if you want, because they're still all around. It was a great experience for me. So yeah. And from there, my mom and dad were able to open their first out of the home school in a leased space near a big mall.
What year was that, April?
That was 72.
So it was 11 years, no, more.
12 years.
In the home.
And then 4 years later, 78, they actually built a school. And half of it was a dancing school with 3 dance rooms, office, dancewear store, the whole thing. The other half was a gym. And my sister coached gymnastics. And we were there until 1994. But in 88, when my dad passed, mom was like, I don't want to keep the building. I don't want the hassle. I don't want, so he passed in 88, but 2 years prior to that, in 86, dad was running the businesses. Mom was teaching. I was teaching. Roxanne was coaching. And he was like, got to have a family meeting. We're like, okay. So he pulled my sister and I in, and he was like, okay, Roxanne, you can have the gym. April, you have the dancing school. April, you got to keep your mom on the payroll. And at that point, my brother was grown and teaching as well. And he had moved to LA to do his, his famous stuff. He actually ended up starting a school in LA for the city of Los Angeles and taught inner city LA kids for years and years and years. And so, yeah, so then I was kind of dumped in my lap. And like I said, it was, it wasn't always my dream, but by that time, 86, I was a single mom raising kids and working 3 jobs. And I thought, okay, well, if I focus everything on running the business, I was still teaching. I was still getting my education. I was still training myself. So, it's been a road.
It's funny that you brought up to keep your mom on payroll because
Yes.
I went looking for April Nelson. I did some April Nelson research and I found this article that you did. And it said that your father gave you one condition, keep your mom on payroll.
Yes, that's it.
So tell me about your mom and her influence.
If you knew the best person in the world that could be a diplomat, an educator, a passionate person, and at the same time be very she was non-emotional as far as she never let emotions get in the way of what her goals were. She might not have liked it. She may not have liked that parent. She may have hated that kid. You never would have known because everybody in her eyes were the same. And I learned so much about dealing with people, handling problems, waiting 24 hours to answer an email or a phone call, at the time, phone call. She was the Taurus and she was very set in her ways, but she always was very, very democratic and diplomatic. And, it had to be the same for every kid. It had to be the same for every parent. She was firm. She was friendly. She was fair, always fair, even when I didn't like it. And even when we would have our little disagreements. But I will tell you that I worked with my mother every single day of my life.
And lived with her, right, in the end?
Well, at the last 8 years she was with us, she lived with me. So it was I don't know, a match made in heaven, I guess. I'm not really sure of that all. And she sometimes, and I've shared a lot of the things that I've gotten from you and Michelle both at the conferences. And the living the dream is the great thing. And she and I used to chuckle about that because it's like, I don't know, sometimes it's like living a nightmare. Sometimes it's
just that's why we put you on Thursday night.
Sometimes it is. But I will say in the long run, I wouldn't have had the life that I've had without dance, without the school, without the parents, without the trials and tribulations and my family. And yeah, it's interesting. My niece, who's a senior, great niece, senior this year. This is her 18th Nutcracker. She's Sugar Plum Fairy. And she's my sister's. My sister's
no favoritism there, right?
Oh, none. Oh, and you know what? I've learned.
Okay, what have you learned?
It can't be about your kid. It can't be about your relative. They're all treated exactly the same. They earn their kudos. They get disciplined. They get in trouble. They get, they have to set the example. And all of Roxanne's oldest grandkids basically grew up in the school because my nephew's wife is my office manager. And so Tiffany's been able to raise her kids and have her work and still have an appreciation for all of it. And yeah, we're all just kind of.
So the Spisak family is like very much at the studio all the time.
My sister's is. My kids are. My son owns sandwich shops.
Oh, I know.
My daughter is a human resources director at Red Bull, so she's in Long Beach, and so they're not around really and really didn't have an interest, which I always thought was funny because they all danced. They both danced until they couldn't stand it anymore. And so it's, they got a lot out of it. My son played Pop Warner football, high school football, college ball, until, and he was always the most coordinated and he knew his right from his left. It was amazing. And so then my daughter danced till she was in high school, and she said, I want to play tennis. And I said, okay. And so she made the varsity team, and they went to state that year. So she found her niche. He has his now. And so they're great. Yep. But it is my sister's kids that have all been paying more attention than to everything. Her two oldest sons have daughters that dance. I'm trying to remember. I probably need somebody coaching me here, but there are 3 from one family and 2 from the other family. And so it's very interesting to see how it's all gone, that way towards my sister's family than my own. But yeah, it's been interesting. It's been interesting. And they're great kids and they're talented.
I love it.
They all have a passion for it. They love it. And again, they're treated like everybody else. So we don't have too many issues with that that I know of.
They're blessed to have you, April, because you train beautiful dancers. I mean,
Thank
I'm
you.
kidding.
Thank you.
I've watched for 40 years, you bring dancer onto a stage. It's like, holy moly, one gets better. Like
Yes. Oh, thank you. My niece Angeli, actually, who was a Miss Dance and did all of the things. Angeli is actually a production director for Princess Cruise Lines now. And she has been around the world more than once. Loves it. Absolutely loves her job. I'm probably not saying all of those terms correctly, but she was with Royal Caribbean for about 15 years and then just recently got hired by Princess and loves her life. She's back down in Florida and she's in Fort Lauderdale area. I guess that's where they put their shows together. I'm not really sure about how all that works, but yeah. So I feel too, and I know Michelle and Rhee, both of you see thousands of kids. And everybody says, well, how many of them go on to be, hang on, that's my sister on the phone. She's gonna make me crazy.
Tell her she should be watching this interview.
I know, right? She should be paying attention here. So I think that I want to say maybe 1%. Would it be 1%, Michelle?
Yep.
That actually have the dream where they, I just had a student get her first touring row for Moulin Rouge, and she is beside herself. And I just got to go see her, and it's amazing. You see, you're so proud of them and you're so happy for them because they are doing what they wanted to do. But there are very few who want to do that. There are very few, like your gorgeous daughter,
Thank you.
who I adore.
Thank you.
Who just has done it, and she's been so successful, and she's very passionate, and she's grown into some kind of a gal. She's amazing, Michelle.
Thank you. I'm very happy. She told me, she said, I'm such a happy person. She told me that last week.
It's like, bless her.
I mean, that's
Natalie, I know, right? Right. That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear.
Yes,
that and I think that so many of the kids now that have brought their kids back to the school. Yeah. So we're on 3 and 4 generations of kids coming in. It's wonderful to see. Well, I didn't really dance after high school, but every time I go to give an insurance presentation, I get myself stage ready. That's or right. They find themselves in the performance mode of having to perform or present or whatever they do in their workplace. I think the work ethic might be one of the biggest things that we pass along to these kids. It really is so important. It's so important.
That work ethic is a thing because it's not there anymore. And dance is not something you can just do and not have that. Like you have to work.
Absolutely.
No matter how talented you are, you have to work. It's repetition.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, you don't have to have a whole lot of natural ability. If you train and you study to be the best dancer that you can be, it's great. but everything else that you learn along the way may not be that you're dancing on the stage, but it's dancing through life and getting through all the things that you want to get through. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind. It's been great. Probably
Um,
still will be.
yes, it'll be that way for a long time, April.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I agree with you 100% on the journey for the dancer. I think a lot of parents, have a mindset, maybe she's going to go on and become famous, whatever. They don't realize that it isn't so much about the dance or
Mhm.
the achievements. It's
Mhm.
the process and what they learn along the way that
Yes.
sets them
Yes.
up to be
Yeah.
successful doctors.
I had a mom at one point in time, a couple of years ago, complain that the tuition went up. And I said, well, I've always thought about this as an investment that you're making, not necessarily just for her to learn dance lessons, but for her to learn life lessons. And I know we all say that, but it is an investment. I mean, these parents nowadays are spending thousands and thousands of dollars on costuming and competition stuff, and which bugs me because they're the ones that are making the money, not me, but the competition it's always
Another
bugged me.
Thursday night call.
Always, yeah. But yeah, and I've had to say, look, this is good. This is a good thing. She's not on her screens all the time. He's
Oh,
not
yeah.
running the streets. They're not, and I've always felt sports were important for kids and dance is important for kids. Anything that can keep them learning a craft, so to speak, or learning a life lesson, I think is just
And
really very
under a
important.
coach that loves them.
Mhm.
Having
Mhm.
that person that's not their parents
Yes.
there, and that is
Yes.
invaluable.
Michelle, have you had people come to you and say, I'm bringing her here so you can teach her discipline?
I've had
Because
just a
she's
handful of
not
times.
getting it at home.
Yes, and they'll say, she won't listen to us, and I'm thinking,
That took
oh,
a
Exactly.
minute to register in my brain.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it
Exactly.
is.
Okay. So they're hoping you're going to teach them.
They want us to
Uh-huh.
teach them to behave and do the right thing, and it's like, hello.
No, I can teach dance.
Yeah,
But we're also counselors, psychologists,
we're it all.
the whole
Yes,
thing.
ma'am.
So yeah, along the way, we learn how to do that. Unfortunately, we don't get paid like a psychiatrist or
No.
a counselor, but it's good. It's good. It makes us feel good to be able to help too.
I also think it's only in the last few years, maybe it's since the pandemic, that we become those people. Before that, it wasn't so much. Kids seem to be stressed. Parents seem to be stressed. And it's our job to say, hey, this is a fun, joyful place. And
When I was first teaching and I started, I would say professionally teaching. So we were out of the home teaching. So when we were in our first space, all the parents were older than me. And I had to be very respectful of what I was doing, what I was teaching, how I was teaching, what I was teaching. So yeah, very important. Then it was the parents were starting to be the same age as me. Then they were the same age as my children. and now working with a marketing agency that informed me 6 months ago that I'm now working with 20-year-old parents and 30-year-old parents who have a completely different look about how our method of doing things for their kids. And when my mom passed in 19, and then we had COVID, and then I had my breast cancer diagnosis. It was like, okay, hit me up with something else, because right now I'm just bring it on.
I remember thinking, what more can this woman deal with? Give her a break.
I know, and I had a good support system all the way through. The families at the dancing school were wonderful. My sister and all of us who were, we were very devastated with my mom's passing. But everybody just hung in there, and we had recitals during COVID, and we had Nutcracker during COVID. I mean, everything just kept. My staff, who most have grown up at our school, which is very extremely cool. They know our philosophy. They know what's expected. They know the kids, and are all very loving, caring people. They taught those darn Zoom lessons, and they would come into the studio. God love them. And I remember one of my teachers going, well, I taught a very interesting Zoom class today. One little girl had taken blue electrical tape and covered her face. Another one had her dog with her. Another one, her mom was standing in the background doing the class behind her. There was always something to laugh about, even though we were all just ready to pull out every hair that we had. And, it was crazy times. So now we're looking at a different generation of people and children who are coming in that we kind of call them COVID kids sometimes, because some of the things that they've had to adjust to are just coming out of all of that we had to adjust going into it. So now it's getting them out of it and helping them understand what's happening. So it's interesting. It's always interesting. Never a dull moment.
It's an appropriate question.
Okay.
Right now.
All right.
Okay.
So you have seen so many trends come and go in the dance world.
Mhm.
Have you balanced? How have you balanced honoring tradition while staying current?
Ballet is first foremost the mother of dance. I don't care what you want to call it. You take a ballet class whether you want to or not.
That's right.
And our dance troupe is called Jataba, but a name that my mom put together using the first two letters in jazz, the first two letters in tap, and the first two letters in ballet. So it's Jataba. That's the company. So everybody in the company has to do ballet, tap, and jazz. Younger kids all have to take acro, and those are our core classes, and everybody takes them. Now we have hip hop, we have lyrical, we have contemporary. The trendy things that kind of come and go. You can teach musical theater in a jazz class.
Correct.
You can teach hip hop moves in a jazz class. So trying to meld some of those things together has been interesting. And we stay pretty much on track with, people call for lessons, except for the guy one year that called and said, I've got a 3-year-old. I wanted to learn to dance like Britney Spears.
Oh my Lord.
And I said, well, I can't help you there. But if your 3-year-old wants to come in and learn pre-ballet tap and acrobatics in an hour, bring her in. So I also think
I'm surprised you didn't offer private lessons.
Oh my goodness sakes alive. It was nuts. It was kind of one of those you always remember about. Okay. Sorry. Yes. But when we're selling the classes, and it's kind of funny though. I know just from my nieces who are in high school and some of the kids that they go to school with, they're all on dance teams and they all do dance team competitions for schools and this, that, and the other thing. And you don't want to go there. They only teach ballet. And my nieces are like, we're on a #1 dance team in high school. It's a little bit more than just ballet. Right. And obviously they can do the things that the other kids can't because of their training. Right. But it's always interesting. And they've always said dance is first. If there's a performance and a dance school competition on the same day, we have to go do our dance performance. And the teachers know that, the coaches know that, and they're really good about accommodating it. I think I'm a little bit more forgiving when they can't come to rehearsals because they have a competition, but as long as they can come in and get the work that I need them to get done, that, it's good. So yeah, we've tried to stay as hip, chic, and trendy as we can.
Right.
That's about it. I mean, I don't have 100 kids with a solo.
Right. Well, and the thing is that you've done this with grace, and your dancers are always so appropriate and so beautiful and so well trained.
Thank you.
And as a young teacher watching you in the early years before you even knew who I was like, I want to be that when I grow up. I want to train that,
Oh, see, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Michelle. That's good. I didn't know that, but that's awesome. Thank you.
So, April, I came to visit you with Dance Life TV,
Yes.
and it was the 50th anniversary. Now it's 65.
66 now. We have our 66 in June. It'll be the 66th recital. But yeah. Yeah.
What do you feel like you owe to that longevity?
Good genes. Because I'm pretty healthy other than my scare before, but I think a good parental foundation. I had a great role model in my mom. I think Michelle feels the same way. I think you feel the same way. You had people that raised you that were good people, good to the core, down to the heart, just good people. I remember my grandmother on her deathbed saying, I lived a really good life. None of my kids went to prison. Okay, Granny. Okay, Granny, that's great. That's good. She was so proud of that.
Oh my God.
And she grew up in Kentucky in a very small community, and just like none of my kids went to prison. Okay,
You're winning.
that's right. Ding ding.
I love it. Did you say you call her Granny?
We did.
Yeah,
And she was kind of the start of it. My mom had 4 sisters. There were 5 girls and a boy, and all the girls sang, all the girls danced, all the girls, were part of all of that kind of thing. And she made sure that they got lessons, and she made, initially back in the 60s, we made all the costumes were handmade. Right. And my mom would go pick out a pattern at the drugstore and get a simplicity pattern.
Yep.
And get the fabric, and then tell the moms, how to make the costume and how to make the pattern and how to trim it and everything. Our first recital in 1960, my uncle played the piano and my cousin played the drums, and they read all the music off of sheet music.
Wow.
So that was our background. Yes. Then we went to records.
Al Gilbert.
Oh, God love him. And then we went to cassette tapes. Oh, no, sorry. Reel-to-reel tape.
Yep.
For recital. Then cassette tape. Then CDs. And now it's you push buttons and it happens. It's just like a miracle. You push a button and it's there.
It's unbelievable.
Okay. So, yeah. And somebody asked me, well, in the 60s, how did you do that? And I said, well, I was young. I did what my parents told me to do, and I didn't know any different. I didn't know that I could rebel or I could go do bad things. I don't know. Yeah. And I look back and I think, okay, so we survived Vietnam. We survived recessions. We've really managed to get through all of it. And I do have to say that it was my mom's, it's that, and your parents are the same way. They grew up with nothing, and they grew up taking care of their families, and that was all they needed to do. And I think that's how we were all. None of us were privileged. None of us were, well-to-do in that respect. And so we all did the best that we could and raised our kids the best we could. And if we didn't have our own kids, we had the dancing school kids, and those were the kids that we surrounded ourselves. And honestly, I think it's kept me young being around. I mean, there's not too many 73-year-olds that know everything there is to know about. Is it Pokemon? I can't believe oh no, wait, what was the movie that just came out with the K-pop? No, is it K-pop, the Headhunters or something?
Yeah. Demon Hunters. And Demon now Hunters. For everybody watching, here's a tip. Here's a tip. Run a K-pop camp and it will be sold out. Okay, moving back to our discussion.
Yes, sorry. Always. We always go off on a tangent.
I forget what you were saying. I interrupted.
No, that's okay. It's just no trying to keep up with the trends and what kids are into and what parents expect, and so knowing, when it's about Pokemon and when it's about Teletubbies. That was a long time ago. Whatever the latest things are. The K-pop
Teletubbies
stuff.
turned out to be controversial. We're not going there, but they did turn out to be controversial.
They did, but
Okay.
everything does, doesn't it? Next question.
So, April, let's do what we call rapid fire before we
Oh
move.
dear. Okay.
Tell me
terrible
the
at this.
first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay. Your favorite style to teach?
Ballet.
Okay.
A memory from your earliest days at the studio.
Being on the back porch in Wickenburg and my brother standing in his playpen, holding on to the side. His first word was plie.
Oh, my God.
In his diaper, plie. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
That's the earliest memory I have.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What is your most rewarding part of your job today?
Ooh, there's a lot. I think the most rewarding part, sorry, I might lose it here. Watching that 7-year-old how to do a tendu without lifting her foot off the floor. She can now do a tendu, which means she can now do a dégagé, which means she can now, the concept of what she has to start learning to do with her body is just really like, it's almost like a light bulb with them sometimes. Some can walk in the door and do it,
Yeah.
but it's the one that it takes a while to learn something that will, make you go, okay, good. This is why we do it. This is why we do it. Yeah.
Tell me a song that lifts your spirit.
I like all kinds of music. I love country music. When I go to see a Broadway play, I can't be still. A particular song is going to be hard because there are a lot. They all move me in different ways, and I think it's because I like so many different genres of music. And that's a hard one for me. I would have to think about that. There might be one current one that I like sometimes, and I'll listen to it 50 times. But there's a country artist named Brett Eldridge. He has a beautiful Christmas album, and he has a song on there called Cool Yule. And I just threw together a little dance for our parents. And in talking with you, Michelle, earlier about, this was our parents' week. We invite them to come in. Normally they don't come into a class. We do have observation windows, but they're closed. And one day at the end of the month, we open the blinds and they can all peek in, but they're never allowed in the room. It's too distracting. Right. And so we had Parents Week this week, and I thought, okay, here we go, kids. So my little jazzerinas, as I call them, these are 7 and 8 year old jazz kiddos, did a song by Brett Eldridge, and it's called Cool Yule, and we're going to do it. Well, we actually close next week for the break, but I mean, the parents came in, they were crazy. It was, oh, yay, we get to see it. We get to see it. We're so excited. So that kind of stuff is fun. So picking a song that I really like, I'll play it over and over and over again. Soundtracks I love. I can judge a competition and hear a piece of music I've never heard before, and just like, oh, I have to write it down. I have to know what that is. So it's just, I don't know. I have the music in me, as they say.
I love it. All right. So tell me what living the dream means to you.
Well, I said earlier, sometimes it's like living the nightmare, but for me, it's just been the natural order of things, and it's been life for me. So living my life in this industry around these people and these children and my family has been everything.
That's awesome.
Love you, April.
Thank you so much. I love you guys too. Great.
Thank you for sharing your story and wisdom.
Thank you.
It's an inspiration, and
Thanks.
I consider watching your legacy grow is going to be an opportunity.
Yes, I'll have a cane and I'll still be yelling at those kids to point their feet. So thank you so much, you guys. This was great.
Absolutely.
Have a great holiday.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And to everybody watching, if this conversation moved you, please share it with your fellow dance educators. Let's lift everyone up and celebrate everyone just like we are. April.
Yes, it's wonderful. Thank you.
Make sure you follow Living the Dream on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and on all of our socials. A big thank you to Jackrabbit Dance for their continued support of Living the Dream.
Yes, and thank everybody for spending Thursday night with us. It has been a true pleasure.
Happy
holidays. Thank you.
Thank you.
April, take care. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Before we go, let's say hello to Sarah Carrigan.
Hi, Sarah.
Miss Shelley. Oh, it's not showing. Shelley Baddies, thank you for turning in. Erin Rhee, thank you for tuning in. We will see you the next time on Living the Dream. Take care. That's a wrap on this episode of Living the Dream. A huge thank you to our sponsor, Jackrabbit Dance, for their support of our community and helping dance studios thrive. If you loved today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your dance friends. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep dancing, and keep making a difference.